Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this January the 29th, 2026. I'm hoping everybody had a great Thursday out there so far, but it's a great Thursday evening. Hope everybody can stay safe and well. Also enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in tonight's video, we're going to be taking a look at the storm system moving across the country and our big weather maker coming up for the weekend. A big snowstorm coming up across the Carolina, which could bring a foot to portions of South and North Carolina, as well as portions of Virginia. So I would not rule out a foot of snow in some locations across North, South Carolina, and also into areas of Virginia. We'll talk about that toward the end of the video with the snowfall totals across portions of Georgia, South Carolina, and portions of southern North Carolina. We'll talk about that in tonight's video. Alright, you can see here we got a storm system here across portions of the Carolina. Just a high level moisture moving across the area. No precipitation falling out of the cloud. Just some high cloud with some moisture moving through, but nothing on radar or no observations on the ground receiving any precipitation. Here's a storm system here moving into the southwestern U.S. This is a subtropical jet. Low pressure system beginning to form down here in the Gulf. That will continue to ride across central Florida and any up the Atlantic coastal communities of the Southeast and North Atlantic coastal areas, and all the way up toward the Mid-Atlantic and Northeastern coast. More activity across Canada, and here's a big storm system here moving into the northwestern U.S., which will affect the central and eastern U.S. coming up on later on down the road, which may bring more winter precipitation for portions of the central U.S. and the northern U.S. as well. Alright, if you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Also like these videos, share these videos, and let's continue to get the show on the road here, folks. And we're going to take a look at your Friday forecast now, and here it is. Alright, make sure you subscribe if you have not already. Like these videos, share these videos, and let's continue to get the show on the road. Alright, snow over portion of Maine, New Brunswick, down to northern portion of Vermont, New York State, over toward Lake Erie, Lake Superior, Wisconsin, to Michigan, to portion of Indiana, Illinois. More snow flying in Kentucky to Tennessee to North Carolina to Virginia. West Virginia, you've got some heavy snow over portions of North Carolina, Virginia, eastern Tennessee, and also eastern portion of Kentucky and southwestern Virginia. Mixed precipitation down there across. This would be rain and snow mixture at the beginning, then change over to all snow as we roll forward. From Tennessee to Georgia to South Carolina, North Carolina, and also the coastal water. Got a little bit of freezing rain up here in portion of eastern North Carolina. A little bit of mixed precipitation in central Georgia, southwestern Georgia. Shower activity for South Georgia, Florida, Florida Keys. Also in the northeastern Gulf. Also the Florida Panhandle, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, portions of southeast Arkansas. More snow flying in Kansas to Nebraska to South Dakota, Wyoming, Colorado, Montana. Even got some freezing rain in portion of Montana with mixed precipitation through the Dakotas, Montana, Idaho, Washington, Oregon State. Shower activity across western areas of Washington, Oregon State, coastal waters, and a little bit inland areas as well. Otherwise, expect dry high pressure to remain in charge of your local forecast area for your Friday. Alright, let's move on into your Saturday forecast now, and it should roll out something like this here. The last day of January. Hard to believe February 1st is right around the corner. Okay, you can see we got some snow flying up here from areas of Rhode Island to Delaware, D.C. to Virginia, all the way down into Georgia, northern Georgia. You can see we got heavy snow over portions of eastern Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, like I mentioned earlier. Also in the coastal waters, and got some freezing rain around the Grand Strand, southeastern areas of North Carolina as well. Mixed precipitation down in Georgia, southern South Carolina, coastal waters. Showers activity across the coastal waters of the Atlantic down toward north, and including the northwest Bahamas, Florida Keys, central and south Florida, and the eastern Gulf, right along the Florida coastal areas. So we got snow flying in Montana, Minnesota, through the Dakotas down to Nebraska, Iowa, and also up in portion of New York State. A little bit up around Lake Erie, Lake Superior, northern Michigan, and also portion of Indiana, and also portion of Illinois. Then we got a mixed precipitation portions of western areas of Montana, Washington, Oregon State, stretching down northern Oregon State, a little bit of California. Then we got shower activity for western Washington, Oregon State, and the coastal waters. Otherwise, expect dry high pressure to remain in charge of your local forecast area for your Saturday. Alright, let's move on to the current watch and warning advisory map for your locating across the nation, and it should roll out something like this here. Okay, Here's the winter storm watches in effect for Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, portion of Georgia. Winter storm warnings up here in western North Carolina, eastern Tennessee, also western portion of Virginia. Even winter weather advisory for West Virginia, eastern Kentucky, and also eastern portion of Tennessee. Cold weather watches, extreme cold weather watches are in effect for, I'm supposed to say, all the way from Virginia to the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, also towards areas of Alabama, Panhandle, Florida, Mississippi. Also, we got some freeze watch in effect for South Florida, freeze warnings in effect for South Georgia, extreme cold weather warnings up here in areas of Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, portion of Arkansas, and also up here in portion of New York State, Pennsylvania, and a couple counties and portion of Massachusetts. Alright, we got cold weather warnings stretching from Texas, Oklahoma to Nebraska to portions of Kansas, not Nebraska, Kansas, excuse me, Missouri over to Arkansas to Louisiana to Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, southern Indiana, southern Illinois, portion of eastern Ohio, much of Pennsylvania, also New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Rhode Island, Connecticut, D.C., Delaware. You're included in that as well. And also Michigan, northern Wisconsin, and North Dakota. Alright, high wind watches up here in areas of Montana, and also dense fog advisory for Central California with some coastal flood statements there, and one county in Wyoming, one county in South Dakota. What a winter weather advisory. Small craft advisory, gale warning from Maine to the east coast of Florida, also west coast of Florida to the east coast of Texas, southeast Texas. Even got some freezing spray warnings off the New England coastal areas there as well. Small craft advisory, gale warning from Maine all the way to Washington State, northern Hawaii Chain Island with some frost, with some high surf advisories there. Well, I couldn't get it out. Also some around the Alaska region, inland, freezing spray warnings to the southwest, northern areas there of Alaska got some blizzard warning, winter weather advisory around the coastal areas. Like I said, small craft advisory, gale warnings that are expected. Alright, Storm Prediction Center outlook, not expecting any severe thunderstorm for the next 2 days, so they're pretty quiet across the lower 48. Okay, this is what everybody's waiting on. The snowfall totals for South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina. You can see on the map here, this is what we're expecting. Anywhere from 8 inches to a foot. This is where I'm talking about right here across North and South Carolina. See over 8 inches in Lancaster, over 8 inches in Sherrill. We got about 7.5 inches in Camden. I would not be surprised to see that maybe moving on up towards 8, 9, maybe 10. Could even be a foot. The models keep adding more precipitation. You can see we got 6.6 inches there in Newberry, 6.1 in Columbia, 6 inches in Sumter. And further south, you can see 4.7 in Orangeburg, 3.3 toward Barnwell, 6 inches in Manning. You can see 4 inches toward Lincoln in Georgia, 3.4 toward Thompson, Georgia. But you can see here is the heavy precipitation across the board, across central South Carolina. But like I said, I would not be surprised to see some areas across the Carolinas here reaching 1 foot or a little bit over a foot of snow in some locations. So some of the models are even saying there could be over a foot in North Carolina and possibly here in South Carolina as well. So get ready, folks. There's going to be a lot of snow on the ground, and it's not going to go nowhere because temperatures are going to have a hard time climbing because of these colder temperatures. So alright, well, hope everybody enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe if you have not. Like the video, share the video. We'll catch you back in the next ones. Have a wonderful Thursday evening, folks. Take care, and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got.